Hello, this is Rick Saltarelli with Salty Breeze Cruise Planners with this week's segment of Beyond Your Front Door. And today I want to talk to you about some of the trends that we are seeing in travel right now. And the first one of about six is multi-generational travel. Now, this should not come as any huge surprise to people. Families have always loved to travel together, but families have spent so much time apart over the last year and a half, that they really want to reconnect and they want to have more of that family time, some of that hug time that they have missed out on so much. And they want to reconnect and do that again. They want to make up for the lost time that they have had and the lost opportunity, which will never come back to them. So getting together with family and traveling together with a group, as a group, is really important again. And there are so many different ways that you can do that. Doesn't matter whether it's on a cruise or maybe renting a villa or doing a tour together, or maybe just renting a cottage and getting out and spending time at the cottage together. The second is people want to get bucket list items completed. They have spent a lot of time locked up, maybe being alone or just being with their immediate family for so much of the last year. And they have this sense of urgency to take that bucket list trip. In fact, there was a survey done that said that 54% of those who responded to the survey are ready to take that trip now, that bucket list trip. And when you think about it, for many people, the summer of 2020 and the summer of 2021, perhaps when they do the bulk of their bucket list travel, were really lost to them. And if you're like me, you might have a series of bucket list items that you've kind of mapped out in your mind over the next several years. And now two of those years have slipped by. And if you're not in the position where you can do multiple bucket lists all at the same time, there's this sense of urgency to get out there and at least get one of them done. And then the third we're really seeing, we're hearing this from people, is they want to have an uncrowded experience. And it's not really so much to do with COVID, but they want to have that exclusive experience when they are in another country or somewhere away from home. And they want to just kind of escape from crowds and spend time alone having an experience that's not an experience that's home. And so what we're seeing in this trend is people that are looking to rent villas. It could be for their family, could be for, just a couple. We also see people with interest in houseboats or barge rentals in Europe, maybe yacht rentals, very, very popular in the islands and of the Caribbean and in the Mediterranean. We certainly have people that want to have palace stays or castle stays when they are in Europe, the United Kingdom, or Ireland, or even those that are just getting away to the Caribbean, looking at renting a condo and just kind of doing things on their own, kind of at their own pace when they are traveling. And that leads me to the next of those trends that we are seeing, and that really is travel at my own pace. And this is where we're seeing people that are interested in perhaps what we just call self-drive vacations. They are flying into another country. They are planning out, or we are planning out where they're going to stay, where they're going to go, but they really just want to travel at their own pace, which means if they're driving down a country road or a highway and they see something off in the distance that the tour they are on or the train that they are on is not going to go and see, they want to slow down, get themselves off the road, and go and see whatever that thing is that has captured their attention. So kind of off the beaten path sort of experiences. We also see that they want to have tours with more choices. And we have vendors now that have given clients more of that free time, even if they are on an escorted vacation. They have more of that free time on their own, or they can choose from a list of tours that they want to do. So the traditional tour has kind of been based around the process that you would get on a bus and you would go to this location and see this experience. Then you would travel to the next location and see this experience. We do have vendors now that are curating those experiences so that you get to choose which tour you want to go and see when you are in that town. So if you think about a place, we'll just take an example like Dublin. Maybe somebody doesn't want to go on the McGuinness factory tour, but they want to go and have an experience with the locals. And they would be able to do that choice when they are kind of doing it at their own pace. The other thing is, again, going to that kind of thought with Dublin, is to genuinely connect with the locals. And so this is an experience that people are really looking for. They want to feel like if I've gone into a certain country or to a certain city, that I haven't just gone and done all the touristy things, but I have actually really made a connection with that area. Maybe a connection could be with a lost relative. It could be with an experience that they've often heard of, never thought that they would have. Or maybe it's something that just doesn't make the A list with the tours that they're looking at brochures and they're not seeing what they want to see in that tour guide. And then we really see again, people want to get away from the crowds. They're okay with being with their own family, but they want to get away from the big crowds and just go have those local experiences. And then the other trend we are seeing is the solo traveler. Now, solo travelers are near and dear to our hearts here at Salty Breeze Cruise Planners. We understand that being a solo traveler does not mean that the person necessarily is single. They could be a person with a partner who does not like to travel or is not able to travel, but that solo traveler still wants to get away and look for those enriching experiences. So we feel so thankful that we work with vendors that accommodate the solo traveler of any age. We have river cruise lines, for example, that have dedicated staterooms on their river boats that are only for solo travelers. And several times a year, they will have curated river cruise itineraries that only solo travelers can go on. So that is a great experience for a solo traveler to have. And then I just want to finish up today by saying that everyone has a COVID story, everyone. People, when we are chatting with them, they spend time telling us how they spent their time during COVID. Some of them were very busy, especially those that were on the front lines. And then there are those that were very disconnected. They were at home by themselves. Thank goodness for Facebook and the telephone that allowed them to stay connected with loved ones. And so people during that time, they were reflecting on what they were missing the most and what they would do when COVID was over and they could get out from home and start enjoying things again. For some people, it was about food. They wanted to get out and visit that favorite restaurant again and enjoy that favorite food item again. For others, they just wanted to go connect with family or go connect with friends and have a hug again and have a chat with people. Maybe for some, it was just that walk along the beach that they were really missing, their favorite spot. And for many, it was to get out and start traveling again. And so whatever your COVID story is, we now want to help you create a post-COVID story. Here at Salty Breeze Cruise Planners, we help create lifelong lasting memories. And it starts with a call to us at 888-332-8202. Maybe your travel needs don't fall into those trends that we've been discussing today, but we would still love to hear from you and plan your next memorable experience. Thank you.